Welcome, guys. I tried to do an introduction before filming, but it was awful. So I've decided to do it next to my guest. Welcome to episode 5. I'm getting these out quite regular because I'm enjoying doing them. Um, that's all to say, really. I've got 4 YouTube subscribers now. That's pretty cool. Subscribe. But if, we heard his laugh. We have broke him out of Twitter lockdown. Mr. Guest, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm finally unveiled, unless you didn't catch on last week when I was in Twitter prison. My name's Alex, and I am the Kitsbaia, is my new Twitter handle, previously known as Kitsbaia _ because someone else said Kitsbaia. And prior to that, but the early days of lockdown, I was called Abby Days FM due to my Football Manager obsession.
I remember that name. I remember because
my avatar was a Football Manager with a clown face.
That was it, because I sometimes respond to a tweet or like a tweet. I was like, who is this person? But right, I kind of didn't realize it was all the same account.
Yes, I got a picture from the Joker, and you can create your own. I don't know if you play Football Manager. You can create your own manager face. So I did that. I was managing Cambridge United. Decided to pick a few Cambridge United kits. So there's one somewhere in my box over there. Actually, I think I got both, to be fair, from last season. And then my competitive game of Football Manager, getting a League 2 team to Champions League success. We didn't get to get that far, but I played a number of seasons. Kind of went into just my childhood kind of obsession for collecting kits.
Like it. So it's not an episode if I don't ask. Who are you wearing? And I'll chuck in the new shirt union question. What are you drinking?
Okay, I'm wearing well, I thought I might as well wear it because I got kicked off Twitter for posting a goal by this guy. So it's the Inter Milan third shirt. 2 weeks ago, I posted Lautaro Martinez scoring a goal against, I think it was Lazio, and I didn't tag whoever I meant to tag in, so I got reported. And now, over a week later, I'm still suspended under Kitsbaia, but the Kitsbaia was reformed on the weekend because I was keen to get back out there and publish deals and speak to my friends in the Twitter sphere. So yeah, I'm wearing Lautaro. If you can see that.
Liking it.
It's not been printed really well by Nike, but we've been there, we've done that. I've got a t-shirt. It was good enough for me. I didn't want to send it back, but I got my 20% off that shirt, which I was happy about anyway, just by having a chat with the guys at Nike. They're very nice, to be fair.
That has been a common theme with that shirt of Nike. Just even though it's their set that they will print it within this line, they just can't do it.
It's about training, I think, and I think we'll probably lead on to my heat press obsession. But now I've got the heat press, I'm kind of like, I want to try and keep my shirts as close to the original and how people print them. So
fair. I've gone for the Parma 2003, I think it was. Home or away, I'm not too sure, but it's got the champion stripes on the sleeves, and I like it.
Isn't the white normally the home, or did they used to mix it up? Did they?
You're asking the wrong person. My knowledge of Italian football is diabolical, but I know that a lot of people have this romance with Italian football because of that Channel 4 show.
Gazzetta Italia.
Yeah, that was before my time, so I'm not too sure. And shirt union, if you're wondering, I've got some Vimto in a Muse Stadium Cup I got from the Etihad.
I'm on DC, unfortunately. A bit boring, but yeah. Keeps me going.
So does Vimto. To date of recording, how many shirts roughly do you have? If you have the exact figure, amazing. I counted mine the other day. I've got 132.
I would like to say no, but I don't. I'd probably say about 200. I'd say I've probably added about 70% over lockdown.
That is where a lot of people did start picking up.
Yeah, but to go from 40, 50 to 200 over lockdown is pretty excessive. So yeah. Kitsbaia by name.
Will the wife be watching this?
No, but the wife knows that I do need to start flogging some of these. So some of these will eventually be on Twitter and Depop or wherever at some point to be sold. A lot of these are still got tags on, and I can heat press them, I can bag them and send them to anyone that's interested. So yeah, I'm not saying all the ones I showed today will be up for sale. I'm saying some of them at some point will be up for sale, and I'll probably do a giveaway at the end of today's episode.
So we have an exclusive like it. So we'll quickly touch on the Kitsbaia. How did that come about? How did the decision for that page come? And follow up, how on God's green earth do you find all these deals?
So I felt that because my Twitter handle at the time was Abbey Days FM, it wasn't really alluding to what I was moving across into, which was posting deals about football shirts, fine shirts deals, and speaking to guys about football shirts, and tweeting pictures of the latest shirt leaks, footy headlines-esque. So I felt I need to get myself a name, and I'd like to say I kind of thought up Kitsbaia off the top of my head straight away, but I saw there was a guy called, I think he's called Jersey Dudek, as in jersey, as in wearing jersey. And I was like, oh, there's got to be other footballers type kits names. So I was like, Paul Kitson, Thomas Kitzelberger. I'd list them on my iPhone. I was like, oh, what a cool names. And then Tamuri Kitsbaia, I was like, oh, that's wicked. That kind of really suits it because it's Kitsbaia and Kitsbaia by name kind of stuff. So yeah, it stuck. Job's good. And unfortunately, Kitsbaia was already taken by someone who's got like no followers. I tried to kind of negotiate it, get the name back. I even tried again this weekend before the Kitsbaia came live. No chance. So yeah, so there you go. And your next question was, sorry.
How do you find all the deals? And
what's
your secret?
The deals. So my day job is an IT recruiter. So I do a lot of searches. I do algorithms. I do Boolean searches. So I put that into play by doing Google searches amongst trying to find shirts. So I know it's kind of like you've got all these things now that kind of plug into your browser, so that will find you kind of deals or your codes and stuff like that. The very different ones, yeah. But it all started by just looking and finding them. Really, I said I like there's a method to it, but it was just a case of Amazon. I always know Amazon. You can always find good, cheap Puma stuff. So if you're looking for some Puma related, always have a look on Amazon to begin with. Like City, if you're a City fan, there's always decent, cheap City stuff on Amazon, as well as CFS, because CFS have got close links to Man City. So a lot of the player issue stuff from Man City is because they know the kitmen. And so you'll see, and the United kitman, I've got quite a few kitmen, but mainly Man United, Man City, more Man City. So you'll see that they'll post a match worn shirt daily or every other day, and that'll be from a Premier League game of a team or a European team that's played Man City at some point because they've got the shirt off kitman.
Okay, in the list of names that you were going to go with, I really hope Kits Cladzy was on there.
It didn't get as far as Kits Cladzy. It was because I'd Peter Shirtliff, and that was kind of boring. You're trying to find the kit, jersey, or shirt name in there. So yeah.
If anyone else can think of some, please tweet this.
Yeah, to be fair, if we can get some good kind of names, maybe that would be for like Football Shirt Friday or something. But yeah, it was quite good fun. Just thinking of them. I'm sure there's loads of others. I'm sure there is, but I was trying to think of Premier League ones because all I've known since growing up is the Premier League.
So who cares about the other leagues?
So yeah, I do care about the leagues, but I just if you know the leagues, but obviously the leagues I tend to watch is just the Premier League.
Yeah, just not with the pay-per-view. So
no, I haven't got. I'm lucky in that respect. I've actually got the Premier League content service, which is I have access to the logins to the Premier League content service, which is basically the official media stuff. So I can watch the games, split screen, etc. It's fun. But I can't tether it to my TV. It has to be through my Mac. It's still good though.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
I feel like I'm on a sheer weight from match a day because I'm watching like 6 games at once going on. Yeah.
Or who?
So go on. So back to deals. So the deal stuff, I started just searching. So I found like just I would search on various different sites. So daily I'd go right, classic shirts, go on vintage shirts, I go on Kit Bag, I go on Fanatics, I go on Groove Sports, and then I could pull all those searches without having to go onto the sites. So it was quite good fun. then the code stuff. It was just a case of if you leave some websites, and you might not notice, if you leave some in the basket and you're already logged in, they'll email you saying you've forgotten this. So they'll try and entice you about the code, or some if you leave the page, say don't go now, we'll give you a discount code. So that's how kind of I managed to get some of the codes. Obviously now some lucky guys on Twitter have got affiliate codes. I think I fell out with CFS or something, so I haven't got a code yet. I'm sure I could get one, but there's enough 10% codes out there that probably not worth my mile. I'm sure Josh and Toby and all the Pedro have got their own codes. So I don't really want to steal their kind of business off other people. I always recommend those three guys at least.
There's always someone to go to with a discount
code. Yeah. For CFS, it is quite straightforward to get a code sorted out. But there's no point in me getting a Kitsbaia one because there's enough to go around. It's exclusive. So I'm in talks with other companies about getting codes. I'm sure that we sorted out. It just takes a while getting set up as affiliate, passing their various checks.
I keep getting emails from M&M Direct because I took a look at a Borussia Mönchengladbach jacket and was like, I probably shouldn't because I'm going to try and stop buying. And then every 2 days it's like, hey, do you still want this jacket? It's like, guys, stop.
Yeah, the M&M is quite funny because I had a thing about M&M when these really cool offers of like cheap shirts. What they do, they show it in stock, but you then go to pay it and disappear. And I'm sure people have these bugbears, but you then have it in your basket, even though it's not available, and you still get reminders about it. This shirt, which you can't get, is no longer available. You can try go back to the website and try and get it, and it was just like, oh. But to be fair, M&M have come up with some absolute steals over the last few months.
They have.
The Barca drop a few weeks ago was just second to none. I know because wherever they sourced it from, they didn't actually check it, but a lot of them had tags on, but it's what it is. I was lucky mine they have tags on, but yeah, there were some really great shirts, especially with the champ. I got I might as well dive into shirts now.
Do you have a particular way you organize your shirts in a way where you know where everything is? I've tried to somewhat color coordinate mine.
Yeah, if I had enough wardrobe space, as I mentioned to you off air, I've got all my shirts with me now because my wardrobes are getting fitted. So my wife was like, Alex, you need to get a shot of all your shirts. So this is the one I got from the M&M drop.
Good pick.
Yeah. So yeah, I think anyone's watched it. If you're not following Daily Robinson, you should be. I think Daily is the main buyer for M&M regards to football shirts. He's always good with the heads ups, and he's getting some really, really cheap stuff. Obviously, the Umbro stuff, the Puma stuff now, it's really good. But yeah, it's fab.
For anyone listening, audio wise, that was the season just gone, wasn't it? So this seasons now have just morphed into one. I have no idea. Was it 1920 Barcelona shirt?
Yeah, so they had the 1920 Barcelona shirt. They had a lot, to be fair. So that home shirt with printing was $24.99. That's Champions League printing and all the patches. And I do like the Champions League patches, to be fair, especially because you get the kind of how many times won the Champions League, respect badges, that kind of stuff like that. And obviously the font's different.
Yeah,
it's not the Cepes's font, which as a comparison, this is what I printed last night actually. Like Blue Peter. Here we go. Oh, okay. So you can see it's the different font. There we go. So you can see it's a straight font there with the lines in, and this is the Cepes La Liga font.
Right. Okay. I'm learning.
It's really annoying me because I messed the eye up last night printing it. It's going to bug me. Yeah, no one else will notice it, but as someone who's kind of got OCD about printing, especially the last few weeks whilst I've been doing it, it's just if you do one error, it just bugs you. That's all you think about when you see that shirt now.
Now you've mentioned it, every time you wear it now, someone will go, "Hey, that eye's wonky."
It's just they're so thin, some bits of it, and I had a little bit with around the one the other night as well. It's just like it just wouldn't budge, or when it just peeled up and you couldn't straighten it back. I was like, but I'm sure a lot of people can share that pain, especially a lot of my guys I know that have heat presses.
So you tweeted last night a little preview of just a handful of shirts. I think it's a handful. You were darting around. There was a lot on there, but you were going to speak about what we're talking about. And in your bio, you proudly mentioned how you raised was it £1,200 for?
So me and Richard, who's best known as Footy Kits, .com. She's got an awesome website, so do check out. He's always got good codes on there. So I was chatting with him, must have been back in early June or late May, saying the Lowry Foundation are always pushing out their £10 shirts in memory of Bradley. Let's do something. So I was like, we should do a football shirt Friday and get everyone in the Sunderland shirts. And it just spiraled really. And I was like, so I started messaging all the kitsters. So I was like 30 of us, 30 people contributed shirts, which was phenomenal. And obviously, I still am really grateful to everyone that took part in that day. And then people were, so for every shirt, there was a scratch card. It was a logistical nightmare. It was hard work, but we got there. So I remember doing a video on the day with all those scratch cards, and someone was going, oh, you're getting scratch card stuff all over the England shirt. I was like, don't worry, it's a DHgate. It's a fake one. I got done from the first buys. My first lockdown buys, apart from the Cambridge shirts, was England shirt. The New England shirt, because I thought someone had basically got out of the warehouse at night, because obviously night delayed the shirts. And I was like, this is definitely legit. And then I was like, no, you check the codes. I was like, oh, it came up with some French train top from 2016. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
It's always a France training top.
It tends to be, or is it the Croatia shirt or something like that, an old school Croatia shirt? Yeah, but it tends to be a France training top. So that particular code. But the breakdown in terms of like the treble zeros color and that kind of stuff, it's the first few letters on some of them is like the summer. You can normally work it out. The Bradley Lowry Foundation Football Shirt Friday was really successful. Thank you to everyone who's watching it who was involved in that day. I think it'd be nice to try and follow up next year if we're all still got the time and we're still locked down, or if it's still something fun and people want to get involved in. I know that was a huge amount they raised over the space of a couple of days. So thank you to everyone that helped donate and take part. Really, it was good fun.
Yeah, 100%.
It shows what a community can do. It's not just about our passion for kits. It's obviously raising money, and a lot of people dug deep and got involved. And then some people got some shirts to the block of it as well.
I do remember watching the videos of you doing all the scratching off. And
I
always, because some of them was like, this card isn't filled, so I'm going to carry some people over this. I was like, in your head, how are you keeping up with this? Because I was like, I'm lost. I'm 10 seconds in, I'm lost.
I had it in my head, like, how I was going to do it, because I did manage to fill all the cards. And I was like, there's some cards I was like, I just need to get it done. And there's enough shirts here. Some of these ones are just like, it was one of those ones where you just it's like the apprentice at the end of the day, at the end of the task. So you're just trying to get things done. So I was like £2 for £5, 3 whatever. So I was just got them filled and just did it. But it was good fun.
Well, that was the same day the Ajax shirt arrived, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's in my Kitsbaia mystery box. That was, so I got that by pure luck really, because it was released and I was like, oh, Ajax site's just crashed. The Ajax website crashed, and I was like, it's going to be like another future classic. And then Adidas sold out, and then Adidas did a re-update, and I managed to get one. I'm proud to say it's probably the only shirt in my collection that I've paid full price for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's probably down to the whole fact of hunting for codes and getting discounts and that kind of stuff.
So, last question before we do dive into your kits and your.
Yeah. It could be a while. This is the back catalogue.
just getting to know you. So the you mentioned a DH gate or DH fake, as they're sometimes known as, England shirt. Throughout lockdown, you kind of raged a war on fake accounts where if Jadon Sancho scores, you will get a blackout Dortmund shirt where there was only 180 odd made. But apparently every football Twitter account seemed to have one that was able to give them away upon a retweet.
The blackout shirts were just there's something about the blackout shirts. Rangers did them. There was other clubs. I think Liverpool had one as well. There was a lot of blackout shirts that were just really in vogue and really popular. But obviously the fact they made this limited edition shirt, which I think they wore once, maybe Dortmund won. I think they wore once or twice.
It was worn once.
Yeah, once. Yeah. So, but it was really bizarre how just like DHgate literally just started making loads of them. They would make loads of them, and then these kind of purely football, whatever they're called, these sites were literally doing competitions without fail every match when lockdown games resumed to do a giveaway, and it was like just if it's that cheap a shirt, just do a giveaway. It doesn't need to have James Sanchez going first or whoever seems going first, because if it was real, you'd understand. But it's blank 12 quid shirt from DHgate or wherever it's called, AliExpress that you get these from, or yeah. It's just nuts. It was just funny because they were like, I'd have guys DMing me who run the site going, no, it's definitely legit. It's like, well, if it's legit, tell me what the code is. And then seconds later you get blocked. You're like, oh, God. Here we go.
I was going to say, if throughout lockdown, I think it was games were pretty much every 3 days. So it was every 3 days you were tweeting a DM to someone and then sharing that you had been blocked. And it's funny that out of every account you must have raged a war on, it was a video of Martinez that got your account taken down and not people complaining.
Yeah. Obviously, there was loads of guys that were just who was, and there still are. And if you want to buy DHgate shirts, you know what you get into, you know the value. But just go direct to don't go for a second tier. Just go directly to, if you want to pay whatever you want to do, 12 quid for a counterfeit replica shirt, because these guys are making 200% profit on this, on a shirt which is not real. And a lot of the shirts that we find, like the kit bag sales, classic sales, start this week, you can get these shirts now for like 40 quid now. See, they started like a month ago. So it's just, you can pay 10 quid extra and get the real thing, rather than pay 20 quid to some nobody who's just basically going to put your address into a Chinese website and you got to wait 6 weeks for delivery.
And wash it once and it'd fall apart. Oh.
Well, yeah, some of them are all right. And I think possibly they're made in similar factories, because I think they are very, very close in terms of how they're made and how they're manufactured. So I get it, but yeah, the quality isn't there. And the stitching and everything else, you can see it. I think Subside did a IX one where you could see a difference between the two shirts. And on first glance, it doesn't look the same, but then you look closer, there's glaring kind of things that kind of pop out. But the IX shirt, there's a few shirts they've now made, is no shirt looks the same. Like the Norway away shirt, it's the print is different. So the whole pattern is different, how it's cut. So it's quite cool, I should find. I think the same with the Liverpool away shirt as well as shirts now. It's a completely different design you get every time. Every shirt is slightly unique in its own little way.
I like when kit leaks were happening, and just some of the kits didn't end up being what they were, but people were selling some of the leaks on Depop. I remember seeing the original design behind the United shirt, where it was the home one, where the yellow and the green were a bit more prominent.
The bus seat where it was more bus seat friendly.
Yeah, and
it's quite funny. They've got the concepts, and I think someone did a concept, and like DHgate created it's like, that's my concept. It's hilarious. Going, someone's just actually selling a concept of the shirt that I designed.
Yeah, and they came up on Depop, and everyone was selling it as like, oh, it's the real thing. My dad works at Adidas. I'm like, I'm sure he does.
A few weeks ago, so someone was like saying, "Oh, this guy selling shirts like 40 quid, like the late shirts." I was like, "Well," I said, "Well, it looked legit." So I actually bought some shirts off him. So I bought this is my Halloween shirt. I'm not wearing it yet. I'm waiting 2 more weeks to wear this one for obvious reasons. I bought this off him, and the code's checked out. So actually, he's legitimate. A1 football. He's got a lot of Arsenal stock, a lot of United stock, and City as well. He actually sent me a City one as a thank you, because I got quite a few referrals to him. But yeah, so there are people out there that have links to your Nikes and your DSs where you can get stock at kind of merchandiser value.
Right. Okay. So A1 football, we'll certainly check them out. But let's dive into your collection now.
Yeah.
What got you into collecting then?
I think it was playing Football Manager, and I was just playing Football Manager, just reminiscing about the kits I used to have as a kid. I used to have quite a few Everton shirts, and I'm a big Everton fan. Probably guess there's a lot of banter about Liverpool on my Twitter, and I'm quite close buddies with Casey's kit run, Carl. And Adam and a few of the guys that are Everton fans. So I was playing Football Manager. I was like, I'd kind of like just have these kits, and I just saw the price point was pretty good for end of season stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I want to start collecting again. And I don't know, it just mothballed really. There you have it. I kind of just got into it. So I was like, I'll buy him. I was like, I want this shit, I want that shit. And then, yeah, as it went on, it was like, I really want to personalize the shirts. So I was like, I started buying the name sets, and then I was waiting to find out to really, take it up a level and actually buy myself a heat press. Because at one point I bought a load of name sets and then sent them to a guy called Footprints, a guy called Gary. So he's based in Belfast, Gary. Really good guy, really good. So if you are looking to personalize your shirt, you've got your name set. He can source as well. Get in touch with him. I think it's at FUT Print or something like that. You'll be able to find him. He's ex-CFS. He used to work at CFS and do a lot of the shirt printing for CFS back in the day in Manchester. Before he went back to Northern Ireland. So I sent like a box of about 10 shirts to the guy and got them printed. And I was like, cost price for postage and everything else, I could probably get myself a kind of, if I had 20 shirts to print, I could probably buy a heat press for that cost. So I was like, just take the plunge and did it. I'd seen other guys, I think Football Threads had done it, and a few of the guys had bought heat presses. I was like, let's go for it, really. But it's maybe a bit more patient. I think if probably don't start a lockdown a few months ago, I probably would have just rushed it and ruined about 20 shirts. But now I'm like doing this very methodical. Sometimes I'll take about 20 minutes just measuring the size of shirts, the height, looking at it, taking pictures from above. I use heat tape, so you can just line it up and everything else. So yeah.
So do you have templates like how Premier League teams will have, or are you like individual letters and you're lining them all up?
So I've got the Avery and Denison Premier League template, which is basically it's like cardboard type templates. It's got like a ruler with a circular top on it. It's got measurements on it, and you can pop your letters, because most of the teams in the Premier League have the name on the back of the shirt rounded. I'll find one to show you like that. So Hammers, so you have it rounded. So you have the template there, so you can put the letters there. This wasn't done by me. This wasn't a great job done by Fanatics. It's just a lopsided one bit, but I can't bother to tell you about. But yeah, so you can see it's rounded. I'm not sure if someone wants to message afterwards. There's not many clubs that actually have it done straight, but I noticed when I did a Van Dijk one the other week that Liverpool have it straight, so rather than round on the letters. So if anyone knows any clubs in the Premier League aside from Liverpool that have it straight at the back rather than round, I'll be interested to know, because I've very rarely spotted Liverpool. I've still got like Chelsea shirts and West Ham shirts and Newcastle shirts print on my to-do list with name sets, but I think they're all rounded ones, to be fair.
I think that's just Liverpool being awkward, to be honest.
But having template is really good. Having the heat tape, having the Teflon sheets is good. It just means you kind of, there's less likely to have any accidents. Especially when it's 150. It's really hot. It gets really, really hot. It's just being careful. And my heat press is 38 by 38, so it'll only just fit a name set. Or sometimes I'll have to go over the bottom of the name set or the top of the name set again, because it won't have probably stuck down.
Okay. So, who is your favourite manufacturer?
Oof, I'd love it to be, say, Hummel, just to wind up Football Threads, but I bought a lot of Adidas this lockdown, and I can't really go wrong with them, to be honest. There's not really been many bad Adidas kits. I like Nike, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Adidas. As they've never sponsored Everton, it's quite funny. I've never had, I've got Lecoq Sportif, I've got Puma, I've got various Umbro, various different models that Everton have had over the years. But yeah, we've not had Adidas yet.
I'm same boat. Lecoq Sportif, Nike, Reebok, but I don't think City have ever been with the Adidas either.
No, they haven't, as far as I can remember.
So, go on.
Over to you, mate. Sorry.
I was going to say, we had obviously we've had a positive. Let's go negative. What's your most controversial kit opinion? If you do have one, I realise a lot of people when they're put on the spot, they can't think of one off the top of their head.
In terms of worst manufacturer.
Either that or just something that everyone loves a specific kit that you don't like, or anything like that.
There's, I'm again, it's probably football fans will love this. I'm not a fan of the kind of the sublimated shirt badges. So Forward Madison, for example, Northwich. I know Northwich, the guy who runs the Twitter is a good mate of. I've come good mates with him, but he agrees that kind of if it'd been the other way around, I think Northwich would have either Sodin or a CPU. So CPU is the kind of what Everton's got raced this season on the home shirt. It's the plastic one.
Yeah.
That's the CPU, but I'm not like CPU. Okay, so some of the detail on CPU was great. Like I think Stuttgart, I've got a phenomenal detail on their ones, and other clubs have got some really good details. I think it's Jacko that do those ones, but they're really good. But I'm not a fan of sublimated shirts. Like even the what's the club in Italy where the boy designed the shirt with the Pescara.
Yeah.
So that one off Pescara shirt, great shirt, but to me it's a fan shirt. It's a fan shirt. I don't think that's actually worn it, or if they worn it in a friendly. But it's the sublimated badge artistic. I know people say, "Oh, it doesn't rub against your nipples. It's not as itchy," kind of thing. Just to me, it just doesn't have that authenticness. And just
I think there's a few Puma Frankfurt shirts. So I got the 92, I think it was. No, 94. And that whole shirt, it's all sublimated. There's no actual physical print on it, which I thought was quite strange.
Yeah. I've got it here. So that's not it. It may be in my box of shirts over here. I think I dehanged it. Yeah. As mentioned, I dehanged about 80 shirts yesterday, so they're all in here. So if we have time, before I need to do nursery pickup, I'll go through it. It maybe have to be a TV continued. But yeah, I'll go through those shirts. But yeah, the Tigres shirt, which I printed the night, it's quite a cool story actually, because when I bought the shirt off Adidas, it was like 28 quid or something ridiculously cheap. But it's such a cool shirt, and when I bring it, it's a black shirt with a pattern on. It's got a load of sponsors, but because there's two sponsors on the back at the top, the name set has to be a lot lower, and then there's another sponsor below the name set. It's a bit of a kill, but it's not as bad as some of the shirts I've seen where it's just everywhere is sponsorship. And it's some clubs in like second division in France. It's basically a walking billboard. But I sourced the name set using the World Cup. They're the same font as the World Cup 2018. So I kind of sourced the letters and the numbers and everything else from Subside separately, really cheap. So I could have Andre Pierre Gignac on the back. He's like Tigres is like best player for a good few years.
It's probably through FIFA that I've heard of him, but I'm trying to think where he used to play. But your kit collection, obviously, it all looks quite modern and as you say, Ajax was probably one of your shirts.
Yeah. I haven't really got any old school kits. It's probably the most oldest kit I've bought this lockdown was possibly the one I was printing last night, and it's not about even that old. It was like 2015, 2016. I was doing that one last night. So yeah, that's what was. I think that was James Rodriguez's second season, so that's 15-16 season. So yeah, I haven't really bought many old ones. That was so Depop again. Seller found this in a car boot. I was like, "Can you check the tags for me?" He took a bit of tags. I was like, "This is legit," and yeah, it's legit. So I was like, I think I paid 8 quid for it on Depop, and then I paid 7 quid for the name set, 7 or 8 quid for the name set. So very happy with that. Such an absolute bargain. And with Hammers playing for Everton, I was like, it had to be done. And then another Depop seller again had it legit. So checked the tags, everything was good. And then found a name set from the same person, and got it done. This was a nightmare to heat press, by the way, because it's got these little button pops. So when I was put on the heat press to do, it was you put it on the name set, and the letters wouldn't heat press.
Oh no!
So last night I had to pull it up open the buttons up. So I know people do this. So you have to pull the buttons up and actually open it wide like that. And I had to do it about 3 times, but eventually got it to work. So thankfully it's all stuck down. But I know people have messaged saying, "Oh, this letter won't stick down or it's falling off." I'm not an expert. I've only been doing it 2 weeks, but I either heat pressed it and for a bit longer, or worst case, super glue it. I'm sure Football Croatia or the guys on there, or maybe Premier Shirts or Footprint have better advice. But yeah, I think that's it. Any advice I can give people that have letters that don't stick down.
I was going to say Footy Creations would be my go-to for repairing shirts.
Yeah, well, I absolutely mare with another Hammer shirt, which is the World Cup one, putting a World Cup badge on. I've learned my lesson now, and I've ordered myself a Teflon pillow, which is like a rounded pillow you put inside the sleeve, because I put a badge on and it ended up being like wonky. And then I tried to peel it off, but it was still hot. So I've got half a badge on and half, yeah. So I'm messaging about how I remove it before I apply another one over the top of it.
Fingers crossed that goes well. But
yeah.
So you've bought a lot through lockdown. They're all relatively new shirts in terms of any themes or eras running through your kits. What was the latest arrival?
I got the Man City away shirt yesterday. That was sent to me by A1 Football, the guys that he has links to Adidas and Puma. So that was arrived most recently. The one I actually paid for, arrived most recently, was I think it was last week when I got the Atletico and the Leon shirts from Fanatics. So I got the Leon shirt. It's a cracker.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know it's called number 9. It's a guy, but Leeds fan. I think a lot of Leeds fan would be happy if that had been their template this season. Obviously with different colours, obviously on the seas, but I think it's a really, really good kit. Name set adds a bit more value to it. That's in my opinion. A lot of people aren't fans of name sets, but I obviously am. I got this from Football Authentica. It's a really good place to find your name sets. Yeah, it's called, the name sets in France are tiny. That's the first thing you notice. And the reason is they have I think they deliver at the top and a big sponsor at the bottom. So they kind of box it in. I think you see the PSG one, they've got that Aredu, you got the name and then the number and then Aredu at the bottom. So I think that's why they're tiny. If you look at it compared to, I don't know, say Italy one.
Yeah.
When it arrived, it's like, I think he sent me a child's one. It's the shorts shit. I was like, and he goes, no, that's the official size. It's like, so he sent me a link to the website. I was like, measure it. I was like, okay. And then I realized I had an Mbappe shirt from last season. I measured that. I was like, crikey, it's tiny, but it's obviously for the size. So that's the most recent one I bought was Atletico and a Leon shirt. I haven't actually bought a shirt physically apart from last night when I pulled the trigger on the PSG shirt. I hadn't bought a shirt for about a week and a half, which is quite a long spell for me. I probably need to have about a month off, but we'll see.
Everyone's saying that, and then I tweeted yesterday. I was like, right, okay, I'm not going to buy any. And then someone was like, oh yeah, so I've got this collection of these really amazing shirts and stuff. I'm going to sell them really cheap. And tagged me in it. I was like, why are you doing this? Fortunately, I think it was only like a pair of shorts that was in my size. And given that they were coming over from America, I was like, probably not. So I shared it. Hopefully someone else got a couple of deals, but not myself. It was far too tempting. But
yeah, and I remember I messaged you when the City shirts were like 11 quid. Remember those ones at Fanatics?
Yeah.
The last season ones, they had the vapor. Was it last season before? So the 18-19 shirts when you were in the league. So the vapor shirts and the dry fits were about 11 quid. It was ridiculous. They're all in like XL sizes, but it was. I don't know if I follow. I think she's called Cheryl or something. She bought about 6 of the shirts or 7 shirts. I was like, different players, and they're all in like XL or long sleeve, whatever. But yeah, I remember messaging you going, you're saying I haven't got a job or I'm just part-time working, which I can afford. I was like, it's 11 quid.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right. You swayed me for a City shirt.
My issue was I wasn't I'd been hired, but because of the furlough cutoff, I was hired a day late. So I was hired just after, so I wasn't on furlough for the whole time. Obviously work helped. They did send 1 month in. That's getting into finances, but no, I did get one. I got one with David Silva on the back because I was like, I need a David Silva shirt.
I got the same. I've got the XL David Silva with long sleeves. No plans to wear it. I just think it just was quite fitting. He was finishing last season to have a shirt with Davis even, so that's pretty cool. I'd say it's probably one of my best finds, that 11 quid shirt, and I think it worked out a bit less. It was like I think I ended up paying £9.90 because I had a 10% off code.
Okay.
And that and some of the Road Kappa, obviously the Road Kappa, the Kappa outlet in Italy. So if anyone talks about Road Kappa, there's 40 kits, I think, was originally shared it. Start of this, it must be about May or June. They were doing loads of kind of 30% off reduced shirts. And I found a hack how you could get free printing. You kind of like click back, you untick it, then refresh it, click back in, and it would have the personalization, but with no cost. So I must have done I'd say about 8 or 9 shirts. I've got 2 Genoa shirts. I've got like 4 or 5 Napoli shirts. Sassuolo shirt. I think that was about it. I had a good selection. But I had like the 2018-19 Champions League shirts, because Napoli have about 5 or 6 shirts per season, which is mental. But yeah, I had like Milik and Insigne. They're in my mystery box. I'm sure I'll refer to them a bit. But I think those deals, the Man City shirts at 11 quid, and the Robes Kappa shirts, which were like 3 printed, probably the best ones, the best finds I've probably had so far.
The modern day Italian job of that Kappa website is.
Yeah, and it's I get an email today, and I was like, oh, where's discount code? It's like nothing. I was like, what? So I think the other day I managed to find another Napoli shirt for about 13 quid. I was like, oh, just complete the set. I bought large shirts because Kappa size up, but these are skin fit, and a large and I'm medium. It was just like, whoa, I can't breathe in these. So I bought XL just so I got a pro fit one that fits me.
Oh no! I'm in the post. I have a player issue large Kappa shirt on the way, so I probably should have gone for XL. Oh well.
You'll be all right depending on the year, really. I think the 90s ones were a lot baggier. As you're aware of. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. It depends. What club is it?
Western United. No, Western Union. Sorry.
They might not do the pro fit. It might just be the regular fit ones. If it depends.
Fingers crossed.
If it's Kappa Pro, you're right. Kappa regular is kind of ones that fit fine. So like the one I think I did a giveaway last weekend for the Grealish shirt, and that was a regular fit. And that's large to me is actually slightly baggier because it's not as a size up, probably a medium large type fit. So you should be okay.
Right. Okay. Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to go on another diet.
Well, I'll just hit the gym. So
if they're open.
yeah. Well, yeah. I can't really do much running at the moment, anyway. But this will be an interesting question then, because your deals. What is the best steal or deal that you have? Obviously, you touched on the City shirt for 9 quid, but are there any others that come to mind?
I think we might come to them actually. I might at the top of my when I go through every shirts, I might list through how much I paid, where I got them from, if I can remember. And then if one comes to mind, it's an absolute steal. I'll push it to you. But the Man City one, you can't really get much wrong than a Vapor shirt, long sleeve from 2 seasons ago for 9 quid. I think it's probably one of the best ones.
Yeah,
I think I had that. I had an Everton shirt for 13 quid with printing. That was an Andre Silva one from Fanatics. That was a good one, but it means nothing to a lot of people. So yeah, that was good. But yeah, there's a few other bargains that I've pushed around. A lot of bargains, especially when I'm not looking to buy stuff. I just push them around. Like I would buy this if I was not a daft. But yeah, fill your boots.
Yeah, but just let other people know about it. Yeah. If you can, do you have a top 3 or a top 5 of your collection?
Or I haven't even just listed them. Shirt? I've got a few that are my favourites. I really like the Leipzig one. That's the one.
It's the third one from this year, is it?
Yeah. Let me go into my Kitsbaia mystery box. I think it's at the top.
Ooh, if anyone's listening on the podcast, I bet you wish you were looking on YouTube right now. He's going in his box.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see this.
Oh wow!
It's so heavy. There must be. Ellis won't get as many shirts. There must be about 120 shirts in it at least. Without we maybe count them, but
yeah.
but yeah. So this one. So
yeah,
this shirt. I'm not a hipster as such, and I'm knocking almost 40. It's probably not the coolest, but I think the whole distortionness. A lot of people aren't fans of Leipzig because of the whole fact they're invested by a drinks brand, but I think it's a pretty wicked shirt. And I got Danny Olmo just because I'm a Football Manager player. He's class and Football Manager, and I think that the whole mirror 25 looks pretty cool.
That does look pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's a good cool shirt. Should we just go? Should I go?
Yeah,
now.
Crack on.
Should we go through it?
Why not?
So the Leipzig shirt with prints in. You can't.
Whoa there, Nelly. So there's another hour to go of this episode, and that's just of Kitsbaia going through his shirts. So I'm gonna break it off now. This will be a two-parter because it's an hour and 45 minutes, and no one has that time to sit and watch a YouTube video for as much as I'd love you to do so. So what I will do is I will release this half that you've watched. It's pointless saying when I'll release it because you've watched it, but I will release the next part tomorrow. So the part of Kitsbaia going through his collection will be out on the 18th. And stay tuned for that part because there is also a giveaway. It was a surprise giveaway, but a giveaway nonetheless. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you tomorrow.